name is Rachel, and I'm going to lead a short session just now where we're going to use our bodies and our minds and our breath just to take a bit of time to connect with yourself, connect with Jesus, and hopefully from here we can move back into connecting with those other people in our lives as well. So my prayer is that this time is yours, is for you to use and to enjoy, and to and can be a precious time for you and Jesus, especially as you then move on from here afterwards. So we're going to start warming up. We're going to move a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of a workout in this session, not too much, but you can push yourself as much as you want. For the whole thing, listen to your body and do what's right for you. So if you want to do a bit more, then you can do that. If it's too much or anything doesn't feel good, then just keep it simple. Use this for what your body needs today, and take the time as well just to connect with your body. Notice what feels good, notice what feels maybe sore, what feels stiff, what feels flexible. Just breathe through all of this. Keep breathing. We're not going to be getting massively out of breath. We're not going to be getting really sweaty. But you want to be in comfortable clothes, just something you can move in. And if you've got a mat, that's great. Otherwise, carpet or floor should be fine. But take care of yourself in this. Okay, so let's start warming up. So find, if you can, cross legs, but whatever is the best place for you to find a seated position. And we're just going to take a few moments to breathe and to get our posture set up well. So I teach Pilates. This is a bit of Pilates background here. So think about having your rib cage over your pelvis. So you might feel like you're a little bit far forwards, a bit more forwards than you normally are. What you don't want is to be slouched either way, not too far forwards or too far back. But think about having your ribs over your hips and holding that. You might need to use a little bit of core to hold that position. That's a good thing. Strengthening your core helps to protect your back and work for good posture. So holding your ribs like that over your hips. Feeling like you're sitting nice and tall on your sit bones. So feel like the crown of your head. You can imagine it's being pulled up to the ceiling. Feel that the back of your neck can be nice and long. So you're aiming to feel like you've got a nice, long, extended spine. So all the natural curves in your back, but your spine can be nice and long. Your neck and your back are connected. You're rooted to the ground on your sit bones, and you can feel the ground under your feet and on the sides of your legs as well. You can just rest your hands wherever is comfortable for you. And just notice all of those connection points in your body. Just take a few seconds just to feel that. Feel that length in your spine. A little lift of your chest through the sternum bone, which is in the middle of your chest. Lift through your sternum just a little bit. And breathe in. Let's roll our shoulders. So we often carry a lot of tension in our shoulders and necks. So this can be really nice to loosen. It might feel stiff as well. That's okay. You can make these circles as big or as small as you need to today. So roll in your shoulders and breathe in, and then big roll to finish. And let your shoulder blades slide down into your back pockets. So you're feeling a real openness in your chest. Keep that lift in the middle of your chest, but you can push your shoulders down as much as you can. Really draw your shoulders down. And as your shoulders draw down, feel that the space between your ears and your shoulders is getting bigger. So your neck is nice and long. You just rest your hands on your knees or your legs or down at your sides, whatever feels most comfortable. With that nice, kind of firm, but kind of gentle draw down with your shoulders, feel like your neck and your back can be nice and long. And then we're going to take our hands and place them on our rib cage. So you want to touch these two, your index fingers, touch them together. And breathe out. Your fingers should be touching. We're going to breathe in, filling up your rib cage with air, and your fingers come apart. Breathe out, and they're going to come back together. So still holding your ribs over your hips, still keeping your shoulders nice and low. Let's take a few breaths like this. And these are not deep belly breaths. You're not bringing the breath right down into your belly. You're trying to fill your rib cage front and back with that air. And just notice that your fingers connect as you breathe out. And your fingers can come away from each other as you breathe in. Work with the rhythm of your breath. One more like this. And then you can rest everything down. So still holding this nice setup position we've got. You're just going to let your head drop from shoulder to shoulder. So a neck stretch, but don't bring your core into it. Your back and your front is staying nice and long. We'll increase this neck stretch with a gentle hand on each ear. So if you're anything like me and you've got any sort of stress or tension in your body, you might be feeling that your neck is a little bit tight. That's okay. Let's do one more each side like this. And again, go at your own pace. If I'm going too fast or too slow, don't worry about it. You do what's right for you. Holding that setup, we're going to turn our heads to the right. Hold that nice stretch for the side of your neck. Then we're going to let our chin come down to our chests. Roll all the way across until you're facing the left. And let's keep going like this. So we're not rolling our heads back. We're just facing side to side and letting your chin roll right across your chest, making a big semicircle. You should feel that neck stretch deepen into the tops of your shoulders and your upper back. Again, always being gentle with your neck. The last one. And then we'll come back to the middle. Well done. Final little warm up for our spines. We're going to bring our hands to prayer hands. Touching your palms together. Rest your thumbs down on your sternum bone, on that chest bone in the middle of your chest. Put your index fingers underneath your chin. That's going to keep your head and your neck in line with your spine. And again, holding your ribs over your hips, keeping your core working just a little bit. We're going to breathe out and twist out. Breathe in and come back to the middle. And the same on the other side. Breathe out and twist out. Breathe in and come back to the middle. Take real care with this one to keep both sides of your bottom down on the mat. Don't let one side come up as you twist to one side. Breathe and turn. You're rotating your rib cage over your hips. Breathe out as you twist out. Breathe in as you come back to the middle. One more each side. And then we'll rest down in the middle. Well done. We're going to come onto our hands and knees next. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Ladies, make sure your knees are wide enough. Our natural inclination sometimes is to bring your knees together. Get your knees out in line with your hips. So if there's your hip, your knee needs to come down underneath it. Spread out with your fingertips and your thumb tips. If you can, this inner part of your elbow, turn them in. So that crease of your elbow is facing the other crease of your elbow. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. So whatever you can feel in your core, draw it in and up. Shoulders again nice and low. So if they started to creep up to your ears, just keep drawing them back down. And pelvic floor muscles, engage them. So everything in between your legs is drawing in and up. So you're making your body like a tight box. That might help you think about what we're doing. We're going to start to lift one hand at a time off the mat. So big hand lifting up, just a few centimeters. Doesn't need to come too high. The only thing that's moving is you're bending at the elbow and lifting that palm. Nothing else is moving. Everything else is super steady, super strong. Draw into your core. Keep your hands underneath your shoulders. One more each side like this. And then let your hands rest down. We're going to tuck our toes under. Lift up both knees, little breath at the top, and then lower back down. Lift up both knees and lower back down. If both together is too much, go one at a time. If you want a bit more, hold it for a bit longer. Just do a few more like this. Keep your shoulders nice and low. Keep pelvic floor drawing in, belly button drawing in. Let's do one more like this. And then you can rest everything back down, but we're still holding this setup position. We're going to start to reach opposite arm, opposite leg, and then bring it back to the middle. But again, with this one, it's a reach and a stretch. Breathe out as you reach out. Your middle, your core, is staying steady, staying strong. So you're extending away from your center, but at the same time, that center is strong. Breathe in, don't forget to breathe. You might start to feel this one a bit more. If you point your toes, it doesn't matter too much what you do with your feet, but if you point your toes, you can feel like a cool ballerina, but also you are really engaging the muscles down the front of your leg. So from your hip down to your foot. Breathe out as you reach out. Breathe in as you come back in. Go at your own pace. With this one, there's nothing to be gained by speed. It's all about control. So think about that solid core as you stretch and reach. Well done. Keep going. Breathe in. One more each side. Whatever pace you're going at. And then you can rest everything back down in the middle. Just take a few seconds to readjust. Stay in that setup position that we've worked so hard for. So shoulders low, belly button in, pelvic floor muscles moving in and up, like you're stopping yourself from having a wee. And we're going to keep our toes pointed for this one and lift and lower a bent leg up to the ceiling. Again, keeping your toes pointed to start with. This is going to work from your hip, well, from your core through your hip, down your thigh, down the front of your leg, right down into your foot. Again, everything else is steady. You're just lifting and lowering one leg. Halfway through, so now let's push into our heel. So it's the same move, keeping that knee bent, lift and lower. Keep breathing, keep everything else really steady. Keep your shoulders low. Keep your arms strong, well done. Push into your heel. So this time we're working the back of your leg. So from your bottom down. Two more on this side. Last one, let's change sides. So starting with our toes pointed, lift and lower. You might find that one side is a lot easier than the other side. You might really feel it a lot more on the other side. Keep going, breathe in, lift and lower. Point those toes. Feel the connection from your belly button into your hip, down your thigh, right down to where your toes are pointed. And now let's push into our heels. So you're lifting, pushing that heel, that sole of your foot, up to the ceiling as high as you can. Still breathing. Still holding your core nice and strong. Well done. Just a few more. 3, 2, 1. And then you can rest that leg down. Readjust yourself in the center. Check your hands are still under your shoulders, knees are still under your hips. We're going to move into our spines a bit more now. So we're going to arch up into a cat stretch. So you're rounding your back, drawing your belly button into your spine. Got hair on the nose. Hold that stretch, let your head drop between your arms, arching up like a cat. And then we're going to let our bellies drop, lift your head, lift your bottom into a cow stretch. Let's round back up into a cat stretch. So we're moving through our spines. Other muscles are moving as well. But this is a great mobilizer for your spine. And then drop down into a cow stretch. Keep breathing. Find a rhythm with your breath that works for you. Rounding up. And then rounding back down. You might have a lot of places to go with this. You might be moving side to side a bit. If you want to, you might be moving forwards or back. Just do what you feel your body needs today. We're going to do one more like this. So arching up into a cat stretch. Round and back down into a cow stretch. And then touch your feet together behind you. We're going to drop our bottoms down onto your heels. So get as much of your bottom down as you can on your heels. Reach your fingertips as far forwards as you can and let your forehead rest down on the mat. Take some deep breaths here. Fill your lungs. Let your spine stretch away. So if you've got any tension in your shoulders, lift up the palms of your hands so you're just pushing into your fingertips and thumb tips. That can release some tension out of your shoulders. Push into each fingertip, each thumb tip at a time. If you push into your forehead, that can release some tension out of your neck. Another deep breath like this. Really fill your lungs, let your spine stretch away. And then we're going to come back up to seated, but this time we're going to sit on our sides. So we're going to make kind of a big triangle with this arm, this hand down on the ground, out wider than your shoulder. Spread out your fingers. Belly button still drawn into your spine. Keep your chest nice and open. So you want your shoulders low, an open chest, feet together, knees together, everything stacked up on top of each other. Start with a hand just on your leg, and we're going to lift and lower. Just a little hip lift. So it's like there's a hoist around your hips and it's pulling you up to the ceiling. Draw into your belly button. This might be enough for you, just a tiny lift. That's all you need to do. If you want a bit more, you can bring an arm up over your head. Some people find it easier to bring the arm up because it adds a bit of momentum. But see how you go with this one. And if you want a little bit more, reach up, reach through, back up and down. Up, through, back up and down. 3 more. So whichever level you're working at, keep going. Keep your shoulders low. Keep drawing your belly button in towards your spine. Last one. And then you can rest down. Well done. We're going to come onto our backs. I'm just going to turn around so I'm facing the right way. Lower yourself down onto your mat. You want to have your feet hip distance apart. Arms down at your sides, flat on the floor. Feel that your shoulders can be broad on the mat. Draw your tailbone down towards your heels. So your shoulders are peeling down your back. Your tailbone's drawing down towards your heels. So the back of your body is drawing down. And with your belly button, pin yourself down to the mat. Slide your ribs, if you can get that feeling, slide your ribs down towards your hips, and that's going to engage a few more core muscles. Then we're going to bring both legs up to tabletop. So your shins are parallel to the ceiling. We're going to bring both arms up to the ceiling. So your fingertips are really reaching to the ceiling. Holding this shape might be enough for you. Using these core muscles now, we're going to reach away, opposite arm, opposite leg, and then bring them back up. So stretching your legs out straight as you reach out and bringing that straight arm as far as you can behind your head. It doesn't matter if you touch the floor or not. Just go for whatever reach you've got today. And you should really start to feel this one in your core. It should be working the muscles around your belly button. You should be feeling, as you hold those steady hips, this should be feeling like hard work. Well done. Let's just do a few more like this. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Just check your coordination. Keep breathing. One more each side. And then you can bring everything back to the middle and we'll rest everything back down on the mat. Catch your breath. And then we're going to sliding our ribs back down towards your hips, engaging those core muscles, holding your pelvis steady. We're going to bring our feet, our legs back up to tabletop. This time you're going to bring your arms up to the ceiling. And especially with your fingertips, we're going to start drawing circles on the ceiling. So you can make your circles as big or as small as you want to. Breathe in as you circle in, breathe out as you circle away. Holding those legs, those knees, those feet just super steady. They're not moving, your core is working hard again. Let's change direction with the circles. And now we're going the other way. Take care of what you've got around you. I'm a little bit limited here, but that's okay. We'll work with what we've got. 3, 2, 1, and you can rest everything down on the mat. Well done. We're going to do one more here, then we're going to move on to the other side with our hip lifts. So again, sliding your ribs down towards your hips, engage your core muscles, bring both legs up to tabletop. Keep your head down if you want to, or if it gets too much, lower your head. If you want to, curl your head and your shoulder blades off the mat, reaching forward with your fingertips. And this time we're going to be grabbing a foot and a knee as we push the other leg away and then change. So you want to feel a stretch in your hip. You want to feel a work in your core. If you've got your head up, get your shoulder blades off the mat as well. So really lift both shoulder blades right off. Really work into that core. If you've got your head down, then keep going. You're still working your core really hard, but choose the level that's right for you today. One hand to your knee, the other hand to your ankle. So you're keeping that good alignment in your body. Just a few more each side. Well done. Last one each side. And then you can rest everything back down on the mat. Catch your breath. Well done. We're going to slide onto the other side now. So whichever side you were on before for your hip lifts, change sides. You might need to take a minute just to think about that. That's okay. So feet together, knees together, hips stacked on top of each other. Bring this top arm out wider than your shoulder. Belly button drawing in, shoulders low, so you've got a nice open chest. And we'll start with just some little hip lift, really feeling it now, especially after that core work. Little lifts. If you want more, bring that arm up over your head, but keep your core connected. Keep your legs together. You can move this one into a bit of a plank, but I'm going to stick on my knees today. If you want more, reach up, reach through, back up and down. Keep going, keep breathing. 3 more. Last one. And then you can rest down. Well done. We're going to move into our final exercise. I'm just going to move my mat a little bit forward. So we're going to finish off with some bridges. So lower yourself down, rolling through your spine as much as you can, bone by bone. Feet out in line with your hips, or wider if that feels better for you. Or if you want to work really hard, you can bring your feet together. But go with what's going to work with your body today. Arms at your sides, feel like your shoulders can be broad on the mat. Resting your head down. We're going to use our core muscles to draw our pelvis up and rolling up through your spine, bone by bone, as high as you can. Lifting your bottom, lifting your hips. Take a breath at the top and then gently roll back down, bone by bone. The speed of this one is up to you. The height of the lift is up to you. You might have a lot of flexibility in your back. You might feel that parts of your back are quite stiff. Just work wherever you are today. Listen to your body. Finish that roll. Roll right onto your tailbone as you come back down. Hold that bridge shape for as long as you want at the top. If you want to work harder, you can hold it for longer. But the main aim of this exercise today is just to increase a bit of flexibility in your spine, build a bit of strength in your lower back and in your core. And just breathe through it. Find a rhythm with your breath that works for you. Notice if you've become a bit more flexible as we've moved through these. Notice the parts of your body that are connecting to the ground at different times. Notice how you're feeling in your body today and in your mind. And make this your last one, whatever you're up to. No rush. But when you get back down to the ground, we're going to stay there. You can stretch your legs away. Stretch your legs away. You can bring your arms above your head or your arms to your sides, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And just breathe. Let your body feel really heavy on the mat. Let all of your muscles relax. Catch your breath. Fix your eyes on Jesus. He's never left that whole session. And he's never going to leave you. Just breathe. Then we're going to start to stretch out a little bit, just to help our muscles recover from any work. So bringing one leg up to the ceiling, grab that leg, the back of your thigh or the back of your calf, whatever feels best for you, and just pull that leg in towards your chest. You can let your knee bend a little bit, that's fine. Push into your heel, so your toes are pointing down towards your face, and hold that stretch, which is right down the back of your leg. And feel that stretch from your heel right down to your bottom. Keep holding. And let's change legs. We're bringing the other leg up. Again, push into your heel, point your toes down towards your face. Breathe into that stretch from your heel right down to your bottom, right down the back of your leg. And then let that foot fall onto your opposite knee. That's now bent. Bring your hands through your thigh and pull that leg in towards your chest. So you're going to feel a stretch in your bottom, in your glutes, in your outer thigh. It's a really good one to hold. You can hold a lot of tension in our glutes. So it's a really nice stretch. Really important one to do. And then gently put a hand on each knee, and you're just going to push your feet over to the ground if you can. Get your knee down as well if you can, and reach your opposite arm and turn your head away from your legs. So it's a bit of a stretch for your lumbar spine. You can hold that stretch. And then we'll come back to the middle, and let's do the other side with our glute stretch. So hands through your thigh. Pull that leg in towards your chest. Again, you can feel it in your bottom and in your outer thigh. Hold that stretch. And then gently put a hand on each knee. Just push your knees and your feet over to one side. Get as much down on the floor as you can. And turn your head and reach your arm out to the opposite side. And then we'll come back to the middle. Just hold your knees into your chest. Do a little rock on the base of your spine if that feels good. And then from here, we're going to come up to seated, but only in order to get onto our stomachs. So if you can, we're gonna just lie down on our stomachs. Have your elbows underneath your shoulders to start with. Palms of your hands just flat on the floor. Keep your shoulders nice and low. We're going to push into our palms and just reach up. Hold that stretch and then lower back down. If that's enough for you, stay here. If you want to deepen that stretch a little bit, you can bring your hands in closer. You can bring them under your shoulders or even further in. And we're going to reach up, mini back bends. Stretch right down the front of your body. So you choose your hands position. Do what's right for your body today. And then bending at your elbows, bringing them into each side of your body, gently lower yourself back down onto the mat. Once you get there, tuck your toes under, and we're going to push back into child's pose. So bottom down on your heels, reach your hands forward, let your forehead touch the mat. Breathe. Deep breath into your lungs. And then we'll come up to seated on our mat. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet together this time. So bring the soles of your feet together. Heels touching if you can. Knees just flopping out each side, let them fall wherever they fall. You want to feel the stretch in your inner thighs. Again, if you can, think ribs over hips for this one. Keep your posture good. And then for the last few stretches, we're just going to come up onto our knees. So we're kneeling. If you can, bottom down on your heels again. Going to bring our arms out wide. Just rotate your hands around so you're loosening up your shoulders and your chest. And then let's bring one arm across. So holding that stretch for your shoulder. Open out again and we'll do the other side. And then we'll open out again. Hands in between your shoulder blades. So you can hold it at your elbow, your armpits. Said this the wrong way around. Or if you can reach, grab your hands together behind your back. Hold that stretch for both shoulders. And let's change sides. So bringing that hand in between the shoulder blades. If you can, grabbing your hands together behind your back. Or if that's not for you today, hold onto your elbow and your armpit. And then you can relax everything down. And we're done. Well done. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're enjoying your day. Okay.